Hello, everyone. My name is Varvensi, and today I will be ranking all of the possibly the greatest alchemist characters. I was actually the one who made this. Basically, what I did was I screenshotted each of the named characters. It's been a while since I watched the show, so I can't promise that I will remember all the names of the characters, but I'm gonna try. Um, I want to start this video off with a story first, just because I'm very upset about it, and there's not really anyone I can tell. Basically, after work, I went to Taco Bell to get some food. So I was getting food, and the guy was probably new, so I'm not gonna be too mad at him. But he's like, "Okay, is that what you want?" I was like, "Yes, that's what I want." I basically said I was getting a Lux box, and I was making some modifications to the 5-layer burrito. And he says he confirmed it multiple times. And when I get it, obviously I didn't check the receipt because I'm stupid and lazy. So I take it, I leave, and there was a line behind me. So I was gonna just stay there, in the line, because that's awkward. And I leave. And when I check the bag, when I go to a parking lot to eat the food, the the food was incorrect. And obviously I'm not gonna go all the way back and say, oh, the food's incorrect, because it was like 9 or 10 at the time. And I just don't want to be like a bad customer, because I get it, customer service is hard, and I work in customer service. But come on, man, that's not cool. So no, I'm very upset about that. But yeah, so let me get on with the video. Uh, this is the Adventurers Guild leader. He is such a good C rank character, just because I don't know. He didn't really do much. Obviously, he kind of was the catalyst for the main character picking the name Wings of Nolan. He trained the main character for a little bit, and he was also kind of there for him a little bit, but he wasn't super important to the plot, so I'm gonna put him in C tier. Um, Male hero 1. I'm gonna put both of the male heroes in D tier, and now that we get to the female hero, Akane, we'll put her in S. The reason Akane is in S tier is because she's such a good character. She's like an S rank character in a E rank show. Basically, in the series or in the show, for those who watched it, these three characters were all summoned to the Holy Sidonia Empire, which was basically the evil empire, the generic evil empire of the series. And while these two idiots only trusted Elizabeth or trusted the environment, what Akane did was she would use light magic on all the food, which was actually a twist at the very end of the series, which I wish they went more in depth on. That since she was leveling up her light magic, she was immune to the poison that they were given, which caused them to turn evil. Because at first we just see clips of them being like the generic evil, like, oh, they use slaves, or oh, they have all these women at them, blah, 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 oh, they're training super hard. And then, but Akane stayed the same. And she was the only one to not trust her surroundings, so she would purify the food. And we learned that, hey, since she was the only one to level up light magic, she's the only one who didn't turn quote unquote evil, which was such a cool twist, which I wish they kind of went into more depth on. But unfortunately, they didn't go into depth on it. But yeah. So D tier for them, S rank. I can think of 2 other S ranks right now, but we'll try to keep S rank kind of limited. Baralai, I think she was in the party at the end. Put her in E. That party didn't really do anything until the last 2 episodes. This is the blacksmith. I believe his name is Boba. But I could be wrong. But yeah, he was a blacksmith in the starting village where the main character was. He was one of the catalysts for him getting a house in episode 1. So yeah. I believe his name is Bogar. He's part of the party. I forget the name of the party, but the party had Heath and Ryle. Ryle is one of my favorite characters. We'll get to him when we get to Keith. In fact, I'm going to move him up just so we do them at the same time. But he's a B rank character because he had such good scenes with Maple. Maple is one of my favorite characters in the show, which, spoilers, is probably going to be the other S rank, or one of the other S ranks. But yeah, Bogar is awesome. He has good scenes with Maple. He has a good personality. His fighting scene, or at the end, his design's actually kind of interesting. And he has an actual personality, you could say. Well, not one of my gripes with the series is that Not a lot of the characters have personalities. And everyone I feel above B, we'll say everyone above, like top of B to A and S, have actual like genuine personalities. Everyone else, they're just like generic cookie cutter characters. Except this guy, he gets A rank. I'm gonna explain why he gets A rank later. His name is Bonga, I think, or yeah, Bonga, I think. I don't remember, but I'll explain why he's in A rank later on. Camilla is a out of the pets the main character has. I feel like she obviously she doesn't talk. She's a Drake horse. She's just a regular pet, but I'll put her in B tier. I'm gonna put her in center B. So if there's other characters, I'll put like after her. Like she's a genuine like center B character. She's not like she's above C, and like the reasoning behind her character, and that was actually interesting. So basically she was hurt in like the forest. She got attacked, and then Maple in her evolution 1 form, if I can find it real quick, basically saved her and like surrounded her with webbing, and that event caused their telepathic connection from the main character to disconnect. So when that disconnect happened, the main character was like, "Oh, I need to find her." So the main character runs to Maple, and ends up saving Maple and Camilla. And so the main character basically puts Camilla into a storage space so she could be safe and heal. So she's in the storage space, but all this causes such a massive mana blight, like the backlash, to where the main character ends up passing out, and he goes into a coma. And then after she goes into a coma, Camilla, after some events, Maple's able to get Camilla out of the storage space and ends up being put back and becomes a partner with the main character, which I thought was very interesting. I thought that, him being selfless in that scene, it's one of the best scenes in the show, honestly. And just choosing to save Camilla instead of caring about his well-being. I wish it was more foreshadowed though that would happen. Like we're literally just told the exact same episode that, oh, if you put something, a pet that's not yours, into a storage space, it causes backlash. If we were told that more, I feel like it would have had a better emotional payoff. But unfortunately, we weren't told that. But even still, Camilla's a solid B tier character. This is the dwarven blacksmith that they did the escort quest for. So we'll put him in C tier. Elizabeth, she is the like main villain, kind of. She runs the Holy Sidonia Empire. I'd say she has a better personality than the two heroes. Like she has an actual personality. Obviously, we don't know why she hates the country that the main character was summoned to, which I forget the name of off the top of my head, but we'll put her in D tier. No, I'll put her in center C. She deserves center C. She's way better than the heroes, and she has more personality than the blacksmith, so I feel like that's a valid placement for her. Han is a A rank character. Han's awesome. He was there for the main character. What Han is basically he's the Adventurers Guild like attendant. He was there after the main character did all his quests. He gave the main character his card. He gave the main character information about the world. He's just an awesome character. And his design's pretty cool. I like the guild design that he has. So he goes into A rank. This might be my bias though. Heath is my least favorite out of the party. The party being Heath, Ryle, and Bogar. Not Bogar, Bonga or whatever his name is. I forget off the top of my head. But dude, all these names are so similar. So it's just I genuinely don't remember it. But anyways, Heath, future me, put a picture of Heath's design when he was fighting in the final war. Like his design is so ugly and it's just stupid. So he's going in E rank. And then Ryle is awesome. He's an A rank character. I'd put him at S, but as mentioned, I don't really want to fill up the S rank too much. Why I'm putting Ryle in A rank is because he was there for the main character, obviously, for the party when they first met. But he has funny scenes with Maple. Maple, when she was in her spider form, he had funny scenes with her. Maple in the show doesn't like Ryle, which I don't know why, but it was so funny. It was added a little bit of character development for both the characters, and it was interesting. And then there was also a scene where the main character was out with Ryle, and the main elf girl like didn't know or something, and she attacked them. And Ryle was willing to defend the main character over himself when the main elf girl attacked, which was such an interesting, um, interesting scene and interesting character moment. So I love that. So that's why he's in A rank. He's tippy top. I'd put him in S rank, but as mentioned, I don't want to like clog it too much. I always try to make tier list like a triangle shape, not to be like perfectly a triangle. Like it does not to be, oh, S has the most, followed by A, followed by B, followed by C, and then you know. But I try to make it more triangle shaped. If you can follow my mouse there. Um, this is the King of Sidonia. I generally have no idea what he did. He was like, he's just generic villain where it's like, yes, let me do that. So for that reason, I'll put him in bottom C because he's not as good as the heroes. The heroes are more played out, I feel like. This is the King of the Empire that the main character was summoned to. Same reasoning. He didn't really do anything. Actually, he commissioned a carriage from the main character. So I'll put him in C. And his design's a little bit cooler. I like his design, but being logical, he should be here. But I'm gonna put him here just because I like his design a little bit better. Lady Nolan, I would put her in F, but I want to save F for, I'm sure you guys know who, the main character. So I'll put her at very tippy bottom of E, like E minus, like E minus minus minus. I believe her name is Linda. She's part of the party. Let me try to organize this. I'll put Heath at top of E, and then I'll put the party member here. This is what is his name? I think he was like the lower. I think they generally called him like Lord. So as mentioned, he's gonna go in the C tier just because I can't even remember a single significant thing that he did. Lulu's awesome. I wish she had more lines. I wish that it was also explained how Lulu became a slave of the main girl, like the main hero girl, but it's never really explained. But I'll put her in end of B tier. She'd go in C tier, but top of like end of B tier, C tier. This is, I don't think I'm gonna explain it in the current script I have for the show, or for the video I'm gonna make. I'm not sure if I haven't talked much about Manny. I genuinely hate Manny. Manny is generally one of my least favorite characters in the show. And the reason for that is basically we're introduced to Manny at one of the last episodes. And basically we learn that Manny is a widow. So what that means for those who have no love life is that her husband died. And we're shown in the show that her husband died like a few like months ago or something. It's super recent to her. And she's still upset about it. And almost instantly after meeting the main character, she falls in love with him, which is so stupid to me because like, so what happens in the show and what their justification is like, first she meets the main character and the elf girl's like, oh, do you want to join my main character's harem, yada yada, and she's like, no, I don't want to join up with the main character. And she leaves the city because the main character built a giant city in a day, which I think I talk about in the script that I have. But basically she leaves the city and gets attacked by beasts, and the main character ends up saving her. So after the main character saves her, she's like, oh yes, I'll join you, I want to blah 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 blah. And I feel like that's not a good enough justification for her to be falling in love with him. I feel like that's stupid. In fact, I gotta keep E rank for worst characters. So I'm gonna move all of these characters up to E rank just because I want this one to be Manny and Nolan alone, and then obviously F rank. We know who F rank's gonna be. Maple, I have both of her evolutions here just because I like them differently. I rank them differently. Like if they were ranked the same, I'd only put one. But I like her original design 10 times better than her half human, half spider design. I think after Soma Spider, so what? Every like spider now just has to be half human, half spider, which I didn't like. Like if they'd kept her as this form, it would have been 10 times better. I'll put her above the Elizabeth, but in this form, after she transformed into this form, it kind of just became like a generic, oh, I'm a spider, oh, blah blah blah. Like she just became a love interest, which is weird. Like in this scene, she had so much more personality. You can even see in the screenshot, she's blushing. She has more personality. She had the hatred for Ryle. Like this, and she had the scene where she hugged Bogar or whatever his name was. It was so interesting, and they ruined it. Like if they kept it so where she can't talk to other characters except the main character, it would have been so much. It would have been peak. It would have been peak. So I love this form like 20 times better. And then next we got Maria. Maria is, I feel like a lot of people are going to ask, who's your favorite girl? Who's your favorite girl of the main girls? And Maria would be my pick just because she never really falls for the main character. She kind of just does her job. She actually kind of just does her job. So she's like, she cooks, she cleans, and then she's trying to put the elf girl on. She was like being a wing woman throughout the entire show. And she didn't really do much important stuff. So I'd put her in C, but she's just better than the other characters. I'll put her above Lulu and Camilla, and Bogar. I'll put her at top of B. I'll put her at top of B. I feel like this is a good ranking so far. I think her name is what's her name? I think it's Marilda. Marilda, she won't go in here. Marilda actually has lines that we'll put her above the blacksmiths, but not in front of not in front of Elizabeth. Martha is my next favorite character. She is so integral to the plot, and she's such an interesting character. So who Martha is during the starting character village, she was the wife of this guy. Let me swap these two. So that's why this guy's so high. It's because he's Martha's wife. Martha was there for the main character when he was suffering from mana blight. She was there for the main character when like they were making the house for him. And what else? And when the main character was using lightning magic, she's like, or not lightning, light magic. She's like, oh, you can use light magic? Don't tell anyone you can use light magic, or else it'll become a whole thing, blah, blah, blah. And this, I mean, half of the show happened because it was found out that he can use light magic, but just giving that warning to him and being there for him made me like this character so much. I mean, sure, I feel like she's just the generic wife character that's, like the motherly character, but I liked her. She was chef's kiss in the series. She was one of the best characters in the series. I think her name's Martha. It's Martha or Mary. But yeah, she goes here. Molly. Oh, let me put Heath at the bottom of this one. There we go. Molly will go in above Lulu because she's a little bit more important. She was saved by the main character. I know it goes a little bit differently in the light novel and the comic, or not comic, in the manga for it, but all I watched was the series, so I can't speak on those mediums. Obviously we have main character. We all know why he's F. No personality, can do everything with one ability, has broken stats at the beginning. Oh, he can't use mana. Oh, suddenly mana is not a problem. Oh, he can't use this type of magic. Oh, suddenly not a problem. Creates fridges. And then he also creates toilets and then all these other things from Earth. And then in the script I make, I also go into the fact that like the Holy Sidonia Empire wouldn't have found a need to summon him need to summon the heroes if he wasn't there. And even if they did still summon the heroes and he wasn't, like, let's say he wasn't accidentally summoned, because in the series what happens was he's accidentally summoned with the heroes, with the 3 heroes. So Nolan puts him back in time like a year before. A year in the show, I'm pretty sure it's 3 years in the light novel, which I think would have been better, would have allowed them to, because the timeline for this in the series is garbage. It's hot garbage. Like, it makes no sense. Like, you'll see every episode like, oh, 6 months before before main character was summoned, 12 months after main character. Like, it's a mess. In fact, it could be a whole video on the timeline of this show. That's besides the point. If this main character was never summoned, they wouldn't have found a need to summon the heroes, because they only summoned the heroes because there was a heretic who was using light magic, who was creating all these tools with light magic, who was purifying water in another country. And let's say they were summoned anyways. Like, none of the story would have happened. The slave girls would have never been taken out of slavery. Riva would have never been able to like pay for her family. Like, the party, all if they were there, would have died in the final battle. The final battle wouldn't even happen because the city wouldn't have been made because the main character made the city. So if this main character was never here, nothing would happen. The entire series revolves around him. The entire world revolves around him. So that's just annoying. Mulan just does her job. She's a slave trader. I don't really like slave traders or slave like sellers in these shows. It just makes my like I wouldn't say stomach crawl, but I'll put her in C below Marilda. We got I don't even remember this guy. I'll put him below. I'll put him below King of Sidonia, I guess. I don't remember. I think I literally have him in my notes as noble guy. Literally, noble guy is his note. Topic. Topic is awesome. Topic is genuinely an A tier character. I'll put him below Han. He sells all the things that the main character makes. He keeps the fact that he can use light magic under wraps. And sure, it gets revealed, leading to the main character getting assassinated, or not assassinated, but having assassins attack him. But Popik did his job, and he was there for the main character. So that's all that I can really say. He was awesome. I don't remember her name, but I'm pretty sure she was part of the party. Riva, out of all the girls, she's my second favorite. I'll put her after Camilla because I feel like the Drake course was better. Well, actually, I'll put her in A tier. Riva actually had a reason to join the main character. The reason she joined the main character and put herself into slavery was because she wanted to like sell things. She wanted to make money for her village. And sure, we don't see the village in the series, but we see flashbacks of her brother and stuff. So I feel like that's enough justification. But I'll put her middle B. I still like Maria better, personally. The main elf girl. I believe her name is Sophia. Sophia is genuinely the worst character, like below Nolan, but she's in the E rank because everything surrounding her was plot armor. Oh, she has a curse that's been plaguing her for 50 plus years. Main character fixes it instantly, and then she falls in love with him. So it's just stupid. None of the reasoning. Sure, he was able to cure a curse, but I feel like it would have been so much more satisfying if he was able to cure her like disease or curse in episodes after episodes. It took longer, but no, it takes like one episode after she's introduced. The next episode, I believe she's cured. So it's just there's no payoff. There's no emotions in it. I have no idea who this noble is. C tier. And then Titan. Titan is my favorite after Mabel, but my favorite out of the pets. So he goes into A tier along with Popik. And I feel like this is a very, very good list. Obviously, I was just putting these ones in here because just to show my hatred for them. Like, I hate the main character. I hate these three characters specifically. Honestly, Nolan didn't even do anything really bad. What does she even do? She summons the main character a year earlier. She just and that's it. Every time the main character asked for help, she was never there. Her blessing is bull. Like, we're learned that the blessing's gonna wear out soon. And what the justification is in the series is that basically she gives him a blessing, and the blessing will eventually wear out because it's a temporary thing. But he never struggles. No one's like, oh, my blessing's gonna wear off soon. Be careful now. And he is the exact same afterwards. He doesn't come into any conflict with anyone. Nothing happens. He's still just the same. He's still like, her blessing does nothing. Her blessing does nothing. She matters nothing to the show. Like, she could have been taken out from the series if it had just had him go from dying into transferring into the new body that he got. Well, I guess she's important because she made the body, so I'll put her above Manny, but she made the body for him. But that's it. Like, that's really it. She doesn't really do anything. Obviously the D rank characters, I feel like these ones are valid because they have no lines. They have basically no. I think the only one that has lines is Baralai out of the bunch. I just don't like his design. The two heroes, they were just generic evil villains. They could have been so interesting, but they weren't. And you can't rate people or like rank these shows based on what they could be. You rank them on what they are. But yeah, this is actually my third time recording this video. If you get this far, third time. Actually, it's 3.5. The first two, I kind of just failed the recording. The first time I failed to record. The second time, there was background noise. And then, like, the 0.5 was, I accidentally stopped recording midway through, which I've been literally staring at my OBS like, am I still recording? Am I still recording? Which luckily I am. But that's besides the point. So I think I was going over like, oh, who's your best girl? Who'd be best girl in the show? To answer that question, there's really only one right answer. And if I could put the main character, like, I'll answer this question in two different ways. One, any character in the show that's introduced, if I could like have them with the main character, who would be best girl? And two, if it's just out of the main four, like the four slave characters. So if it could be anyone, I think the best one would be Akane. The reason Akane would be the best would because they're both from Japan. They both would understand each other. They both have broken abilities because of they were summoned. So I feel like they'd understand each other a lot more. And it would be a lot better to have two free people, quote unquote free people, than like having him like go out with a slave. And I know in the light novel he has children with the elf girl and Maria, and I think one more, but it's just so icky to me. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, if I had to choose between Sophia, Maria, Riva, and whatever the last one's name is, I would definitely choose Maria. Well, actually, I feel like Riva, I don't know. They're all slaves. It's weird. I don't know. Maria's the best option because she doesn't really like him like that. It's more like she does her job, she cooks, she cleans, she yada yada. And she would have more of a reason to fall in love with him because it's been over time, like they get to know each other. But the elf girl has no justification besides the curse. Riva, it wouldn't feel right because, you know, she's only doing it to help her village, so it wouldn't feel right. So Maria, I feel like could genuinely develop feelings for him. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say. If you do enjoy the video, feel free to recommend like other anime for me to rank and watch. And I should get both of these videos out on the same time. Also, sorry if I'm sniffling or anything that I don't cut, just because I am not very sick, but I've been kind of sick today. But I do hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm recording this at 12:47 a.m. If you can see the time, which I don't think you can on OBS. But anyways, make sure to get some rest, okay? Ciao.